What it do? What it do? You know what to do. Like, subscribe, share, comment to my YouTube channel. Most definitely hit that bell icon. That's a notification bell that alerts you all content that dropped on my YouTube channel. Also, hit the thumbs up, the AKA the like button. YouTube appreciate that. S.L.R Media TV appreciate that. Also, hit the subscribe button. Also, I need everybody to go check out my second YouTube channel, S.L.R Sports News TV. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, comment over there. Everything helps my channel grow, get more viewers, more subscribers, help build my YouTube community, help push my channel further to get recognized, to get noticed. Like the content that I do, make sure you hit the Cash App. All information is pinned at the bottom of the ticker. Shout out to my subscribers. Shout out to my future subscribers. You see the title. You see the title. Quarterback Bryce Young, media made. Yep. Time to draft a QB. For sure. All jokes aside. Time. Oh yeah. With Jay Wick. What up, Jay Wick? What's good with you? Hopefully Atlanta can beat us so we can get the number one. What, are we gonna get the number one spot? So we can get the number one spot if we work out. Yeah, we won't get the number one spot though, but we can get high as number 2. We can go as far as number 6, but we don't have a top 10 pick. So we can fall out the top 5 or we can stay in the top 5. Hopefully we'll lose so we can stay at the top of the top 5. Jay Witt said, then I ain't got no choice but to draft a quarterback, Canales, and then we'll be on the spot then for sure. For sure. Big things popping for Dave Canales. Big things popping, little things popping. Big things got to pop for Dave. Dave don't make a big time move. He will not be the head coach in 2026. And that's for sure. Bet your bottom dollar on that. Jay Witt said, then they will be on the spot. Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. They need to be on the spot now. Jay Witt, they need to be on the spot now. Hey, there's no time to waste. There's no time to waste. Jay Witt put number 2. Facts. 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 I say it again, man. I don't know what Carolina gonna do. I really don't. I really don't. Jay Wick, just added you as a moderator. Welcome. I don't know what they're gonna do. This is what I do know. This is what I do know. Bryce Young is media made. He's media made. You see my background. You see that money. You see that money flowing through that background. You see it. Because that's what it's all about. That money on. It's all about the money, guys. Listen. Bad as I want Bryce up out of here, bad as I want him gone, y'all know I want him gone. It's the money. It's the money. It's all about the money. That's the reason why Bryce, listen. David Tepper's going to have to wake up one day and just say, you know what, fuck it. Fuck it. I'm done. I'm done with the Bryce experiment. I'm done. I'm going to take my losses. I'm going to take it like any other loss in business. I'm going to take it, regroup, and get my money back somehow, some way. Once the season ends and he sees this draft board, he sees certain quarterbacks he cannot pass up on. This is not a time to give Bryce Young the 3rd year to make it right. This is not 5 years ago, 10 years ago, when you had so much patience with a quarterback. He could fuck up for 3 straight years. Oh, but he's going to be our quarterback going in the 4th year, and eventually he's going to get it right. No, the fuck he ain't. In the NFL, you only have 2 years to get it right. 2 years. You don't get it right in 2 years, you got to go. So for me and everybody else, I think my patience is real thin right now. It's too many good players in this draft to sit here and be confident that Bryce Young is able to get it done. I don't believe it. I refuse to believe it. As I say again, I'm not stopping until we get our quarterback. Bryce Young ain't it. And if I got to be the leader of the pack about this, I will. You listen, y'all should already know. I don't mind going against the Bryce Young fans, the fanboys, the fan women, the fandom. Hey, I don't mind going against the content creators who support Bryce. Nah, I don't. I don't. It is listen. I ain't worried about no credentials, no sponsors. I'm not worried about Bryce team hitting me back for an interview spot or coming on my channel. I'm not worried about none of that shit. I'm not worried. The only thing that S.L.R is worrying about now is winning. Winning. Nothing else. Winning. We don't have the quarterback to go out there and win. Ask yourself this. When the 2025-26 season comes up, do you think all the analysts and the so-called draft football gurus, or you think they really gonna pick the Carolina Panthers to win the division? Ask yourself that. Ask yourself that. When next season rolls along, do you think the media is going to pick the Carolina Panthers to win the NFC South? That's all I want to know. That's right there is proof in the pudding. Did the media crown the Carolina Panthers the NFC South champions this year? No. As soon as the Atlanta Falcons got Kirk Cousins, they immediately anointed the Atlanta Falcons as the head of the class, all because of Kirko Cousins. But Bryce supposed to be good though, right? He's supposed to be good. We didn't even get an honorable mention. What kind of shit is that? We didn't get an honorable mention. But that's your guy though. That's your guy. Shout out to JC Horn. Shout out to JC Horn. You deserve the Pro Bowl accolades. I said again, I said before. If you could put a full season together, almost a full season together, you can show a reason why you're a top 10 cornerback. You have shown that. And the fact that now I am going to say JC Allen. Ejiro Rivera put you on your own island. You saved you the man. You saved you the man. Throw me the man. You are going to lock down all the number one wide receivers in the X position. You're not going to cover nowhere else. You're not going to no. You're going to stay on that one side and you're going to lock that side down and let the other guys work. And JC Horn did that. And for me to say he's a top 10 quarterback, a top 10 corner, I believe next year he can put himself as a top 5 corner next year. He is that good. He is that good. Now it's going to be more intriguing. It's going to be more intriguing than ever that the Carolina Panthers are seething and dreaming and salivating of JC Horn and Travis Hunter. God, that's where we need to play. That's where we need to play. Just think about it. JC Horn and Travis Hunter. Thieves Island all over again, right? We back at Thieves Island all over again. As I say, it's a very big time draft. There's a lot of good quarterbacks, and the Carolina Panthers got a lot of choices to make, for sure.
For Bryce Young's entire football career, he was the best. A 5-star recruit in high school, a Heisman Trophy winner in college, and the first overall pick in the draft. But unfortunately, that doesn't guarantee you anything in the NFL, especially if you're drafted into a clown show of an organization. And Young learned that the hard way. He was 22 when he took his first pro snap, and by age 23, he was already labeled a draft bust. But how bad is Bryce Young actually? Can he really not handle pro ball? Or is he just a victim of a dysfunctional team? In his case, both things could be true. Before his NFL disaster, Young was an absolute beast in both high school and college. He played high school ball at the legendary program Mater Dei in Southern California, where he had a 46-6 record over his 4 years and threw for 13,250 yards and 152 touchdowns. It was clear early on that Young was special. 24/7 Sports ranked him number 1 overall in the recruiting class of 2020, and he originally committed to USC following his sophomore year. However, he'd later decommit from the Trojans in favor of taking his talents to Tuscaloosa to join the Alabama Crimson Tide. But after he joined Nick Saban's squad, he had to wait his turn, because as a freshman in 2020, he backed up Mac Jones as the Tide won the national championship.
Alabama has defeated the Ohio State Buckeyes, winning the 2020 national championship game.
As a sophomore in 21, he entered fall camp as one of 3 quarterbacks battling it out for the starting job. Standing in his way were Paul Tyson and Jalen Milroe. Young easily won the competition, and then he dominated college football. In that 21 season, he threw for 4,872 yards and 47 touchdowns. The Tide rolled to an SEC championship and made it back to the national title game. Young's numbers were so great, and the Alabama brand was so huge, that he won the Heisman Trophy by a landslide. And he had shown NFL teams that they needed to pay attention to him. The draft analyst industry certainly took notice. In all the major way too early 2023 mock drafts, which came out almost a year before Young could be drafted, he was listed first or second overall, and he was pretty unanimously the top prospect of the 23 class. Now, here is where the Carolina Panthers come into play. Prior to the start of the 2022 season, they were still trying to find a successor to Cam Newton. They tried to trade for Deshaun Watson and Russell Wilson, but had to settle for Baker Mayfield, who would eventually be out of a job after the Browns acquired Watson. Mayfield was brought in to compete with former Jets' 3rd overall pick, Sam Darnold, and neither QB had much success. After 5 games, Carolina had a 1-4 record, and there was no sign of a turnaround. So, Panthers owner David Tepper decided to make a coaching change.
Ultimately, I felt this was a time. Now was the time.
Out went Matt Rule after 2+ seasons, and in his place went interim coach Steve Wilks. But the shakeup wasn't finished, because 1 week later, after another loss, the Panthers made a stunning move. They traded their best player, Christian McCaffrey, to the 49ers for 4 draft picks, which at first sounds all right, until you realize that none of the picks were a first-rounder. At the time, McCaffrey was the highest-paid running back in the league, and he got hurt a lot, but he was undoubtedly one of the top players in the game. And yet, GM Scott Fitterer settled for that package of picks. And McCaffrey wasn't the only star on the trading block. There were rumors that Carolina had received a massive offer from the Rams that included 2 first-round picks for Brian Burns, their Pro Bowl pass rusher. Burns was due for a huge contract extension, and after already moving CMC, it seemed like a no-brainer for the Panthers to take the picks and go all in on a rebuild. But they still wanted to be competitive, so they kept Burns and went next man up to replace McCaffrey. And surprisingly, they pulled it off. With the hard-nosed Wilks in charge, the Panthers stayed true to their keep pounding motto and employed a physical run-first style. The Panthers did so well, they were actually in a position to win the terrible NFC South all the way up until Week 17, where they were eliminated with a loss to the Buccaneers. In Week 18, they beat the Saints to finish 7-10, and with that win, they held the 9th overall pick in the first round of the 2023 draft. So in the end, they hurt themselves by not tanking, because they not only didn't get a very high draft pick, but after almost making the playoffs, it gave the front office false confidence, and they weren't interested in any kind of rebuild. Tepper also wanted to change the team's identity and show that he was going all in for a Super Bowl. First, he let Steve Wilks, the coach that turned their previous season around, go. Then he hired Frank Reich as head coach, and he tried to give Reich the best possible staff, hiring a group of big-time assistants, coaches who left winning organizations to help make the Panthers winners. And those coaches needed to get the job done immediately, because Tepper was tired of losing. At that point, he had 0 winning seasons and no playoff appearances as the team's owner. Reich was the 3rd full-time head coach in 5 years under Tepper, after Rule and Ron Rivera. And, fun fact, Reich was actually the first starting quarterback in Panthers franchise history. But he wasn't hired for nostalgia. No, the main reason he was hired was for his offensive mind and his ability to get the most out of quarterbacks he previously worked with. He did it with the Chargers and Phillip Rivers, the Eagles with Carson Wentz and Nick Foles, and the Colts with 5 different quarterbacks in 5 years. But the Panthers didn't have a solidified starting QB in place, and they failed to acquire Aaron Rodgers, Derek Carr, or even Jimmy Garoppolo in free agency. So the next place to turn was the draft. The issue was, after a solid junior season at Bama, Bryce Young remained the consensus top prospect in the draft. So, picking 9th, the Panthers had no chance to get him. The next QB on most analysts' boards was Ohio State standout C.J. Stroud, but he also wasn't going to make it to 9. Then the only other quarterback with an early first-round grade was Florida's Anthony Richardson, but many thought even he could be off the board before the Panthers picked. But that doesn't mean Carolina couldn't make a move. See, the Bears had the first overall pick and made it clear they weren't planning on keeping it. They didn't need a quarterback because they were going to let Justin Fields have one more season to prove himself. And they knew they could get a haul from a team that was desperate for a QB. A team that was picking 9th, perhaps, and would need to outbid multiple teams picking above them, a team like the Carolina Panthers. And sure enough, on March 10th, 2023, Carolina sent this package to Chicago. Wide receiver DJ Moore, a first-round pick in 2023, number 9 overall, a second-round pick in 2023, number 61 overall, acquired from the 49ers in the McCaffrey trade, a first-round pick in 2024, a second-round pick in 2025. A massive overpay. The Panthers' best wide receiver, 2 1s and 2 2s, were going to the Bears. But it wasn't all doom and gloom at the time. Carolina was guaranteed to land their next franchise quarterback, the player who was gonna be the face of their franchise. And more importantly, no one was picking in front of them. Whichever QB they liked the most was gonna be their guy. But their guy would end up giving Panthers fans nightmares. So, why did the Panthers go with Young?
The Carolina Panthers select Bryce Young, quarterback, Alabama.
Because while he was considered the top prospect by most, he wasn't a perfect prospect. He was undersized, standing at just 5'10". He had an average arm and average athleticism. But it wasn't stature or speed that made Bryce Young a great player. It was his precision and his mind. He was an extremely accurate passer who seemingly always knew where to go with the ball. And if a play broke down, he was also a great playmaker outside of the pocket. It was those skills that the Panthers fell in love with. And when Tepper, Fitterer, and Reich met with him at Alabama before the draft, Young showed off his great football IQ and character, essential traits for the future leader of your franchise. On the night the Panthers drafted Young,
So you want to trade in sweet home Alabama for some sweet Carolina?
I can't wait.
Tepper said that among the top QBs in the draft, Young, quote,
Crazy. We're gonna get back to some more of this content right here. But David Tepper was wowed by his mind, his brain is being brilliant, his processing, not looking at his stature, not looking at him being 5'10", not a strong arm, very little athletic in him. And you still picked him because he was a genius. He was smart. Unbelievable. You picked Bryce Young because he was smart. He was a processor. You looked at him. He was 5'10". He was the shortest quarterback. The average quarterback height is 6'3". And you chose Bryce Young. Let's get back to let's get back to some more of this. And yeah, as Jay Wick say, clown show for sure. Let's get back to the clown show, the Carolina Panthers. Let's get back to it.
Winning Super Bowls.
and he wanted to back that claim by putting a strong supporting cast around him. Now, here's where the Panthers' plan began to fail. Tepper and Carolina's front office thought Young would be so good at distributing the ball to multiple receivers that they could spend less on offensive upgrades and focus more on fortifying the defense. So, in free agency, the Panthers followed that strategy by signing these mid-players. Running back Miles Sanders, who was coming off a career year with over 1,200 yards rushing for the Eagles, wide receivers Adam Thielen, who was aging and had been released by the Vikings, and an injury-prone DJ Chark. Then also tight end Hayden Hurst, who was 30 and declining. So not exactly an all-star group of skill players. But hey, the offensive line was sound, right? Actually, turned out that it wasn't. But Young was still expected to be great right away. But that wasn't the case either. He looked like a rookie, someone who still needed time to develop. And that was the absolute worst thing to show an owner who had lost lost patience and wanted to win now. Starting with Young's debut against the Falcons, it was clear he was struggling to master the NFL passing game. He made bad throws.
And knocked away.
Held the ball too long. Left the pocket too early.
Froze and knocked away.
He threw too many check down passes. And he threw the ball to one receiver, Adam Thielen, too much. But it wasn't all his fault. For one, Thielen really was the only receiver getting any type of separation. And the offensive line was a mess. During the season, 9 different players started at guard. So the team didn't have playmakers. The interior O-line was in shambles. And the protection suffered because of it. Then, on top of that, there was instability in the coaching staff. Sometimes Frank Reich called the plays, sometimes offensive coordinator Thomas Brown called them. Chaos is the worst thing for a rookie quarterback's development. So it's no surprise he lacked confidence throwing the ball. And the consequences of that were disastrous. In 2023, Carolina lost their first 6 games. In Week 7, Young beat Stroud and the Texans 15-13 in a matchup of the 2 top picks in the draft, but it was back to losing after that. 4 more L's in a row dropped the Panthers to 1-10. In those 4 games, they scored 13, 13, 10, and 10 points.
There's the Sanders, they come through, it's intercepted again!
And then came the most bizarre moment of the entire season. After just 11 games, Tepper fired Reich, who was in the first season of a 4-year, $36 million contract. Stable teams and owners just don't do that kind of thing.
There are different reasons why different things happened in each case.
But Tepper thought Reich would get the team to the playoffs, and instead, the Panthers were a dumpster fire. So rather than put out the flames, Tepper threw gasoline on them. As if Young's rookie season wasn't chaotic enough, he now had to deal with a coaching change.
It's really hard. These are, real relationships.
And he didn't handle it well. In their final 6 games, the Panthers went 1-5 to give them a 2-15 overall record, averaging a pathetic 7.5 points per game. Their last 2 games were shutout losses, and Young was on the field for all of it. For the season, his stats were awful. Among starting quarterbacks, he had the worst passer rating and the second worst completion percentage. In addition, he was sacked the second most times. But the team's stats were just as bad. Among the 32 NFL clubs, the Panthers were 31st in points per game. Then, in the offseason, more major changes were made, but there was also more embarrassment. Because in January 2024, Tepper fired Fitterer as GM and replaced him with a Panthers legend, Dan Morgan.
President of Football Operations, General Manager Dan Morgan.
And then Morgan hired Bucs offensive coordinator Dave Canales as head coach. Canales was hired mostly because he was seen as a quarterback guru, previously helping Geno Smith and Baker Mayfield become really good NFL quarterbacks. But those players were veterans who were playing for stable organizations. In Carolina, Canales walked into a burning house, and he was being asked to save a second-year quarterback who was already on his 3rd head coach and had just been shell-shocked as a rookie. And it's not like the Panthers could add an elite playmaker to the offense in the draft, because after posting the worst record in the league in 2023, Carolina would have had the first overall pick in the 24 draft. But remember, back in 23, the Panthers traded their 24 first rounder to the Bears in the deal to move up for Young. And to make matters worse, in March of 24, Carolina did end up trading pass rusher Brian Burns to the Giants, but they only got a 2nd rounder and a 5th rounder back for him, which just made them turning down the earlier Rams offer look terrible. But when the draft rolled around, new GM Dan Morgan did try to get his QB some help. He made a trade with the Bills to acquire the last pick of the first round and used it on South Carolina wide receiver Xavier Legette. So the receiving corps was now headlined by Legette, a now 34-year-old Adam Thielen, and newly acquired former Steeler Deontay Johnson, who is a good receiver, but definitely isn't transforming an offense. And with that, Young was basically in the same spot he was as a rookie, trying to learn a new offense and surrounded by a below-average group of skill players. The results? Well, they were exactly as you'd expect them to be. In Week 1, the Panthers visited the Saints in New Orleans. This game was the beginning of the end for Young as Carolina's starter. On his first pass of the season, Young was intercepted. By the time he recorded his first completion, the Panthers were down 17-0 and on their way to a 47-10 loss. And for the game, Young's passing stats were terrible. 13 of 30 passing, 161 yards, 2 interceptions, 0 touchdowns, 4 sacks. In week 2, he was bad again. Playing the Chargers in the Panthers home opener, Young threw for just 84 yards and an interception.
Bryce Young drops back to pass, middle of the field, and it's intercepted!
As Carolina lost 26-3. Alas, Coach Canales had seen enough. After the game, he said he would evaluate the quarterback position.
This is the best decision for our team.
And the next day, Young was benched for veteran Andy Dalton. After the announcement, the media declared that Young's time in Carolina was up and were throwing out speculation about potential trades. But the takes didn't seem premature or out of place. Even though it was far from all his fault, Young did look terrible. At the time of his benching, his career numbers were abysmal. 18 games played for a 2-16 record, 59.3 completion percentage, 11 TDs, 13 interceptions, 5.4 yards per attempt, 68 sacks, 70.9 rating. In week 3, Young watched from the sideline as Dalton led the Panthers to a 36-22 win over the Raiders in Las Vegas. In week 4, he saw Dalton put up 24 points against the Bengals, but the defense was awful and the Panthers lost by 10. Then, in week 5, the Panthers traveled to Chicago. It was revenge week for Moore, and a huge opportunity for Williams to remind the Panthers that they screwed up royally when they mortgaged their future to grab Young. Williams, Moore, and the Bears went out and punished the Panthers. At halftime, Chicago led 27-7. With 4 minutes left in the game, the lead was 36-10. So Young took the field in place of Dalton. And at first, he looked pretty good. He got the Panthers into scoring range. But on 4th and 2 from the Bears' 8, Young was sacked and Carolina came away with no points. With the loss, the Panthers fell to 1-4 on the season. And their first-round quarterback had shown that he wasn't ready to return to the lineup. The Panthers have stood firm that they don't plan on trading Bryce Young. Young has since started 2 more games for the Panthers after Andy Dalton injured his thumb in a car accident. One was another bad loss to the Broncos, and the other was a win against the Saints, but his numbers didn't really improve. But it's hard to see any way out of this hole for the franchise and their young quarterback.
So you see, I ain't gonna be doing all a full breakdown and this is why the Carolina Panthers lost. Do a full breakdown of Bryce Young. The reason why Bryce Young is the reason why Bryce Young should have won more games, and this is the reason why Bryce doesn't win more games. Now we fuck all of that. We're not doing none of that. We're not doing none of that. Everything falls on the quarterback. Everything falls on the quarterback. Everything. What they always say in football. What do they always say in football? What is the most important position in football? Who is the most important player in all of sports? In all of sports. The quarterback. See, now we at the point where if you're a real football fan, you know football, you ain't got to be the fucking Mel Kipers and the Todd McShays and the Phil Yates and you know what I'm saying? And have a full breakdown vision of a player to know if he's good or not. He's not good enough. And it's because of the height disparity. You can't listen. If you're not going to one of these fucking country, you could stand Waha stand somewhere where they got these generational doctors that can have you at 5'10" to 6'3". I don't know what the fuck Bryce going to do. Yeah, he's accurate, of course. Yeah, he got escapability out the pocket, but he can't stand in the pocket. He can't put together a full game. And that's the problem. I don't want to see my quarterback do good in the first quarter. And then and then he want to be clutch with 3 minutes left in the game in the fourth quarter. No, I need you to put it together all 4 quarters. I'm sorry. It's not going to work for Kyler Murray. It is not going to work for Bryce Young. And yes, I will say Bryce Young is a better quarterback than Kyler Murray. But clearly you can see Bryce handicaps the head coach play call ability. Then once that happens, it makes the head coach play call ability more suspect every time. But see, the thing is with this one is Dave Canales is not good as people think he is. See, Dave Canales is walking around here calling plays with the blinds down, not up. And see, when they play the Falcons, the last game, he's going to show you how bad of a play caller he is. See, Chuba Hubbard's not there to cover nothing up. See, Chuba Hubbard was the cover. He was covering everything up. He was when the winds was coming, y'all was giving the shit to Bryce. You wasn't giving it to Chuba or anybody else. You was giving it to Bryce. Even when Bryce had piss poor statistics, you still was giving it to Bryce. See, I showed you. I just showed you, and I got more content. I just showed you just that little bit of content right there. That's enough right there to already know what it is with Bryce. And the statistics came with it. Numbers don't lie. Numbers don't lie. See what y'all do. Y'all run around the numbers with Bryce. You try to save Bryce. You try to save Bryce. See, there's no saving. And see, when you try to save Bryce, you make yourself look stupid. You make yourself sound crazy. See, I just sit back and watch shit. The ones who taking up for Bryce Young right now, you're delusional in every aspect, in every way of this. Numbers don't fucking lie. And all y'all want to do is play spin the bottle with Bryce. Some of the content creators, media. All y'all want to do is spin the bottle. Numbers don't fucking lie. You cannot come out here and say this guy's a franchise quarterback. You can't come out here and say he's a processor or generational talent. You cannot fucking say that. He ain't it. And I told you about the Alabama quarterbacks. Look at the track record of Alabama quarterbacks. Yeah. Every single one of them, you got to go out there and get weapons for, right? But when they're at Alabama, they win the SEC championships, fucking national championships, right? Huh? Then they get drafted in the fucking top 5, top 10, first rounds. And they fucking flame out where you got to go spend a whole boatload of money. Told y'all. See, I showed you in that content right there how possessive David Tepper and the Carolina Panthers was with Bryce Young. They wanted him. Bryce Young probably didn't even want to go to Carolina. You ain't gonna turn down $40 million and you got one of the richest owners in the league stalking you, gonna give you every fucking thing you want. But see, where they fucked up at, you fired Frank Wright when you should have kept him. You should have kept Frank. Frank Wright is a more better head coach than Dave Canales with the experience and the multiple quarterbacks that Frank Wright has worked with. But you also got to understand this. Bryce Young got say-so in this. And Bryce played a lot in this. Yeah. Bryce did not want to run. Allegedly, they were running some type of K-gun offense with Bryce Young to try to spice this shit up. That's why you seen Bryce Young damn near 99% of shotgun. You could try to dance around this and spin the bottle all you fucking want. Numbers don't lie. You can go out here. You can go fire that. You can go fire the defensive coordinator. Fire the defensive coordinator. That's what you do. Once you fire him, once you fire the defensive coordinator, go get your own defensive coordinator and watch this. Nothing is going to change. Nothing is going to change. Nothing. I guarantee you, nothing is going to change unless Bryce Young comes back 6'3", I don't see the Carolina Panthers even getting in the playoffs. I only see the Carolina Panthers maybe probably averaging the same amount of wins that they had averaged this year. No playoffs. See, see, it's people like me that stands up to the media, the ones who running around here trying to dictate the team, trying to tell the Carolina Panthers what they need and who they should get. See, that's the fucking problem. And then you got certain content creators that believe the same shit that the media is over here hollering about, right? Y'all believe in that, right? See, when that's when I be like, give them what they want. Give them what they want. Give them what they want. Because what you want to do, you want to weed these people out. You want to weed them out. You can't continue to say Bryce Young is good, and then when he doing so motherfucking bad, do you want to retract and say Bryce ain't shit. We need to go get a quarterback. No, this what y'all try to do. My bad. I was wrong. I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear that. My bad. I was wrong. Apology or none of that. You was campaigning so motherfucking hard for Bryce Young. You was campaigning for. Nah, you got to stand on it. You got to stand on it. You got to ride that one. You got to ride it. Dave Canales, you got to ride that shit too. All y'all was standing on that Dave Canales and Bryce Young, you got to ride that. I don't want to hear that. All y'all see, you ain't nothing but flip floppers, and nobody's gonna really believe you when we go live. Nobody's gonna believe you. At least a bunch of people just like to get lied to, just like your content because you flip flop. No other than that. But speaking that real shit about the team, giving them facts, ain't nobody gonna believe you because you flip flop. Too jovial. You want to play both sides. Nobody want to hear that. Then you want to use your escape card. Oh, my bad. I apologize. I was wrong. I was wrong. Nah, nobody want to hear that shit. Nobody want to hear that. Nobody want to hear that shit. I mean, motherfuckers go so hard for Bryce Young, like they defense attorneys. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit, me. Yeah. Jay Wick said, look what happened to Oregon last night with a short ass quarterback. Facts. Facts. But look, Jay Wick. Look, Jay Wick. I think Dylan Gabriel is probably a better quarterback than Bryce Young. Yeah. 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 I think he might be better than Bryce. But yeah, the short the short quarterback era, that shit is done. That shit is done and over with. That's done. Kyler Murray and Bryce Young is done killed that. You're gonna have to be fucking super, super special. See, these short quarterbacks, you ain't gonna be able to lie no more. You ain't gonna be able to get through no more. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. You're gonna have to motherfucking be Michael Vick. You're gonna have to be Mike Vick. Other than that, I mean, you got the Raider League, USFL. I mean, Rock got about 2 leagues. You got the Canadian League. Shit. I'm about to have a league, S.L.R. League. I mean, shit, holla at me. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Hey, let me know. Uh, y'all short quarterbacks out here just ruin franchises. I mean, come on, man. This shit crazy. I ain't never seen a quarterback with the record of Bryce Young and still be able to go in the third season with confidence. What the fuck? Like you ain't scared for your job. You ain't scared that you don't see S.L.R. on your fucking neck. You don't hear S.L.R. hollering for your job, saying that you're not it. You're not the one. You're not the man. You're not the one that's gonna take the crown off Cam Newton's head. You're not the one, Bryce. You're not the one. You're not the one. And you don't act like you want to be the one. Because of this shit right here. Let me show you some of this shit. Let's get back to the content. Some of this shit right here. I'm like, this right here.
A nickname now. They're calling you the Carolina Reaper. Have you heard that nickname? Like the Reaper, like when you go up against your competition, you kind of take them out. There are a couple of head coaches that have gotten fired after you beat their team. You took the Cardinals out of the playoffs. Is that you haven't heard of that?
No, that's my first time hearing it. Again, I definitely can't control nicknames. I don't know about.
What do you think about it though?
I don't know. Reaper's a little like evil, so like I don't know. I try not to be evil, I guess. I don't know how to feel, but yeah, that's not really up to me, I guess.
Right. You know what I'm saying? That media made shit. Oh, what is that? Carolina Reaper. What is that? A pepper? You got them girls over there laughing. That's what the fuck I'm talking about. Let real media people in, like S.L.R. Media TV, like Up 2020. Let the real ones in there. Because we ain't gonna be sitting here talking about no motherfucking Carolina Reaper to Bryce. And we ain't gonna motherfucking be laughing. See, that's the shit I'm talking about. You got the media up in here geeky laughing. Huh? We had not fucking been to the playoffs since what, fucking 2018? 2016? You over here fucking geeky and laughing? This is the type of coaches that we got running around here. Now you see why we lose so much. Now you see, when you get in the locker rooms and you just hear how the reporters talk. You think the reporters are they too busy worried about not getting their credentials snatched. Huh? These girls running around here, they want a football player. Huh? They want one of these football players to take them up out of here. So they ain't even got to do this no more. Fucking gee, God. Then you got this shit right here.
Who? Why are you volunteering me?
Yeah, y'all gotta try.
I don't have a spoon.
Try that. Try that. Yeah. That's not bad, ain't it?
That's it. It ain't bad. It's not bad. Oh, that's too much. It's not bad.
You know what I'm saying? This culture ain't right. This culture ain't right. Put it like this. Would you think Bill Belichick would be acceptable of that what was just going on in the locker room? Him fucking bringing coon in the fucking locker room, handing it out. The reporter, once again, these reporter girls, right? These more like some Tatianas. I wouldn't be surprised if they would get busting them down. Why are they all up in? Ain't that trying that coon, right? You trying that coon. You trying to Xavier again. See, that's the shit that I'm talking about. Ain't no winning culture. And ain't nothing but thottyism running around in the Carolina Panthers organization and locker room. Oh, thottyism. Got these girls signing up the wannabe reporters and act like they, you know what I'm saying, like they've been sports reporters for fucking 10, 15 years. All of a sudden, 2 years later, they all up in the men's locker room. Let me try some of your cool, Xavier. Yeah, that coon good, ain't it? Ain't that coon good? The peppers, a little spicy, a little bit, but hey, $1 million bill, we like that coon. And see, that's that shit I'm talking about, yo. Culture got to change. Culture got to change. It got to change. Got to change. Because this shit right here, this ain't it.
Where are you on Jalen, what you've seen this year? I mean, we've seen this probably the same things, but where are you on Jalen? What can you tell us?
I think when you watch him, there's a difference when he takes off and he's decisive with it. I mean, holy cow, he's different. He's got rare speed as a first-year starter, and this is no knock on Jalen. This is a lot of first-year starters. Thought he was like a clear picture guy. He really needed to see receivers break open. I thought this year, I mean, he was throwing guys out of breaks. After that Wisconsin game, he was our Senior Bowl player of the week, and man, the guy was running a corner route, you know, kind of a deep flag route, and he wasn't even out of his break yet, and Milroe launched that ball. So there's been some good, and there's been some, you know, head scratching stuff. I still think with the tools, he's probably ahead of where Jalen Hurts was coming out. Because I think if we bring Jalen Milroe to the Senior Bowl, I'm not going to get asked by the media if we're going to play him at running back during the week, which is what some media people asked me at the press conference when Jalen Hurts played. I mean, I think he's beyond that.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna tell you out there one thing about Jalen Milroe. Once again, he's an Alabama product. He's an Alabama product. I just told y'all about Alabama quarterbacks. If Jalen Milroe goes in the first round, which I believe that Jalen Milroe is not going to. This is my thing. All right, this is what Jalen Milroe need to do. If Jalen Milroe want to secure a first round pick, don't throw at the combine. Don't throw at the scouting combine. Go do your measurements. Go run the 40. You can do everything else at the scouting combine. Just don't throw. You say that for your pro day and your private workouts. By you going to the scouting combine doing everything else, they look at your measurables, you doing your interviews and everything. That right there is gonna put you in the first round. That right there. They're gonna see you without the pads on, everything. So that right there, your measurables and everything. That right there. Now, it's risky. It's risky for Jalen Milroe to not throw at the scouting combine. Yeah, it's very risky because all the teams are going to be there. But a lot of first round quarterbacks didn't perform at the scouting combine. I'm just saying, if I was Jalen Milroe's agent, I would say you can do everything else at the scouting combine. Don't do weights. You can do everything else, and you can't throw. And we'll say that for your pro day. Because what up, Kiwan? What's good with you? What's good with you? Hit that link. Pull up. What up? We talking a little football. Jalen Milroe. Talk about a couple quarterbacks, stuff like that. And you know Bryce Young, the media made. But none of that was good with you. But yeah, if Jalen Milroe do everything plus throw at the scouting combine, I think it's gonna hurt his chances of him being a first round pick. He got a more better chance just going to the scouting combine, doing the measurements and the measurables. That'll get him in the first round, get him talked about, but he can solidify his first round pick. He go do his pro day at Alabama. So that's what I would tell Jalen Milroe. But other than that, honestly, tell you the truth, Jalen Milroe can make more money going to the portal or going to another school. Or I don't know if his eligibility is up. But if Jalen Milroe still got eligibility, I'll go back to college because he could probably get about $4 or $5 million for his last year. Easy. Jalen Milroe, if he got any eligibility, he could easily make $4 to $5 million staying in college. Very easily. Then Jalen Milroe can come back. Then he may have a better chance of being solidified in the top 10 or in the first round next. Because if Jalen Milroe comes out, and like I said, He should not throw at the combine. You can do everything else, but don't throw at the combine. You save that for the pro day. Because if you throw at the combine and you don't look good, it's a wrap. It's a wrap for Jalen Milrose. Then when he could go back to college and get the bag, but you in the NFL eyes, they already see you not as a good quarterback. So if you try to come back, they ain't gonna do nothing but try to talk to you. Hey, you want to be a running back, a wide receiver? Nah, fuck that. So really, you really taking a big risk on Jalen Milrose. I'm being facts with you. He want to say, yeah, he say he's trash. Oh yeah, 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 he is because Alabama should have been playing in these playoffs. I'm facts. I'm being facts. Under Nick Saban, this shit wouldn't happen under Nick. This wouldn't happen. He wouldn't even play like this under Nick Saban. I think his draft stock, people talking about Caleb DeBoer, the reason why he getting talked about in the first round. No, the fuck it ain't. No, it ain't. Come on, stop playing. And then on top of that, I told you about the Alabama quarterbacks. They not fundamentally sound, be ready to come to the NFL. I ain't got time to be putting all these work in no NFL quarterback coming out of Alabama. Man, now Jalen Milrose, he a project. Now Pittsburgh Steelers can draft him. That'd be a great place for Jalen Milrose to get drafted at Pittsburgh. Yep. He can learn right on the Russell Wilson with Mike Tomlin. And Mike Tomlin gonna get the best out the court. See, that's what I said Bryce Young to. If you really want to know Bryce Young really a bust, send him to Pittsburgh. Mike Tomlin gonna let you know. Mike Tomlin is gonna let you know. He made the right decision to go with Russell or with Justin Fields. And trust me, I mean, it is a knock on Justin Fields. I won't say the word, but it is a knock on Justin Fields because Justin Fields should play better. He should play better. Now, don't get me wrong. There's a possibility that Carolina may kick the tires on Justin Fields. And you're gonna have to understand this, guys. And we're gonna have to worry about these situations. These situations are gonna come. When free agency come around, the Carolina Panthers are going to be aggressive. They try to get Aaron Rodgers. They try to get multiple players when players was out here on free agency. So what makes you think they're not going to talk to Justin Fields? For sure. And if it's an opportunity for Justin Fields to win the job, if Dave Canales is the head coach, Dave Canales is going out here to look at these free agent quarterbacks. He always holler about competition. Well, show me some competition, Dave. Go out here and go get Justin Fields. That's what you do. That's what you do. I like that. As a free agent pick, we ain't gonna pay much for him. But if we hit, oh my goodness. If we hit with Justin Fields, man, shit. Stop playing. Stop playing. If we're not going to get a quarterback in this draft, which I always say we should, then you can't pass up on Shador and Cam Ward. You can't. You got to try. You got to try first. I'd rather for the Carolina Panthers to try first. If we fail, fuck it. But we try. Don't go out here and feed us the bullshit. We got our eyes set on next year. We think next year class is better than this year. Hey, get the fuck out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. I don't want to be picking in the motherfucker. Listen, I don't want to have the number one pick or the top 5 pick next year. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest. I don't want that. I'm tired of losing. I don't want it. That's why I put the pressure on this organization to make the blockbuster moves. I'm tired of motherfucking losing. We ain't won nothing since Cam Newton. I'm tired. Everybody should be tired. Stop with the bullshit. Tired of hearing all the fundamentals, the practice. Nah, we tired. Make the moves. Show us you trying to win. I don't want to be you. We'll listen to people talk about, look at the cap. Look how much money we got on the cap. So what? So what? We got to do what the Philadelphia Eagles are doing. We got to go out here and make moves like the Philadelphia Eagles. We gotta be copycat them. We should be following their fucking model. They in the playoffs every fucking year. 12, 13 wins every year. Well, I mean, and no offense to Jalen Hurts. But Jalen Hurts is not even a top 10 quarterback. He's not even a top 10 quarterback. He's not even a top 10 quarterback. And Philadelphia's doing all of this. Like, come on. Man, come on. We got to stop. We got to stop now. Gotta be real with yourself. Stop
Cam
lying.
Ward electing to not play in the second half of a game will have zero effect on where he winds up getting drafted. But I'm still allowed to be like, it's just different. It's not what I'm used to. And I don't like it. I understand that this is the climate today. I understand that he deserves credit for playing in this game, even a half. I understand he's protecting himself. I understand all of these aspects of it. And I'm really not even here to knock Cam Ward. Every NFL scout I talk to, everyone who's evaluating these quarterbacks and this entire draft class says the same types of things about him. Unbelievable leader, dedicated, demands excellence out of his teammates. That's what you're looking for in the quarterback position. Does it the right way. These are the quotes that I have like ingrained in my head, everyone I've talked to. And so this is another example of how things have become different. And you've got to adjust with the times, but you also wonder, I'd wonder personally, what does this mean? Where are we going with all of this? I don't know.
Man, Cam Ward is going to the Tennessee Titans. I'm gonna tell you this right now. Tennessee Titans either gonna take Shador or Cam Ward. Either one. I believe Tennessee Titans not going to trade their pick. If they don't trade their pick, then they're going quarterback hunt. You can have Will Levis.
Rowan McMillan, 6'5", 212. I think best case, everything works out perfectly. Best case, I would go with a Drake London comp. Athletic after the catch for the massive guy, he's great uncontested, but I don't think as good as Drake. More often than not, talking to people in the league, there were more questions than like definitive, like this is my guy, like I love him. The questions were, can he win on the outside enough? He said, if you really study their tape, there's a lot of motions. There's a lot of helping him get off the line. If you're just plugging him an outside receiver as the X, 6'5", 212, he should just be your X, right?
Yeah.
Can he win on his own enough on the outside? He's like, he can get in and out of his breaks. I'm not worried about that part, but refining his route running skills, understanding what's expected of him, getting off the line of scrimmage against press corners on the outside in the NFL. If he doesn't improve in those areas, he's going to have to rely on 50-50 balls, like too high of a percentage of time. And you can't live on that in the NFL is what this guy was saying.
Carolina Panthers. Grab him. We'll take that. 6'5". Well, we take that. Yep. We sure will. Yep. He'll develop into a great wide receiver. Trust me. Like, yeah, if he's a wide receiver that likes motion and all this other stuff, yeah. You gotta look at Arizona. Look at that fucking quarterback. That quarterback was trash. Come on. Like y'all gotta understand. And this guy is a top 10 pick. The wide receiver is a top 10 pick with a trash quarterback. I don't want to hear nothing but Tom McShay and them saying, nah. Mm-mm. He can easily come into an offense and easily get 1,000 yards. He's ready. He's ready. He's ready to go. He can't miss. He can't miss. You're not gonna find wide receivers like that. Trust me. You gotta snatch him up. Yeah. Oh yeah. Most definitely. That most definitely make the Carolina Panther fan base very happy. You can see a lot of his jerseys. Yeah. Yep. Weapons. He'd be the tallest wide receiver, I think, on the team. Well, he'd be taller. Well, right now, I think Jalen Coker. I think Jalen Coker is the tallest wide receiver on our team right now. I think Coker like 6'3" or 6'4". He got like 6'5". Listen, just imagine this. You got McMillan, Xavier Legette, Jalen Coker. I think Moore gonna hit the free agency mark. He think he might get more. I like Moore. I like Carolina Panthers should try to keep Moore. He got fucking Velcro hands. He fucking catches everything. He's more like a slot guy. He can catch everything. But if the wide receiver from Arizona is there, we got to take him, man. Like this guy right here, Carolina Panthers, you really got to jump on this guy, probably.
Rowan McMillan, 6'5", 212. I think best case, everything works out perfectly. Best case, I would go with a Drake London comp. Athletic after the catch for the massive guy, he's great uncontested, but I don't think as good as Drake. More often than not, talking to people in the league, there were more questions than like definitive, like this is my guy, like I love him. The questions were, can he win on the outside enough? He said, if you really study their tape, there's a lot of motions, there's a lot of helping him get off the line. If you're just plugging him an outside receiver as the X, 6'5", 212, he should just be your X, right?
Yeah.
Can he win on his own enough on the outside? He's like, he can get in and out of his breaks. I'm not worried about that part, but refining his route running skills, understanding what's expected of him, getting off the line of scrimmage against press corners on the outside in the NFL. If he doesn't improve in those areas, he's going to have to rely on 50-50 balls, like too high of a percentage of time. And you can't live on that in the NFL is what this guy was saying.
Man, you crazy. Carolina Panthers, I'm telling you, if you sitting right there in that wide receiver from Arizona, there, take them. Take them. Take them. Don't even hesitate. Don't hesitate. No, listen, we'll worry about everything else later. We'll worry about everything else later. We got a 6'5" weapon ready. Play him early. Starting. Yeah. That's how you build. That's how you build that offense. Had that wide receiver. How you think Cincinnati was doing? Man, them motherfuckers had a wide receiver core. They always kept wide receiver. They always drafted good wide receivers. They didn't give a fuck about anything else, what was going on around that team. As long as they had that quarterback, they make sure that quarterback was always going to have wide receivers. I'm telling y'all now, I don't want to hear nothing about no fucking Abdullah Mason. I don't want to hear nothing about no fucking Mason Graham. I don't. I want offense. All I want. Want nothing but offense.
This is Xavier League. This is the secret to my swagger. It keeps me 24/7 child free. On it all the field. I can wash my chest, my back, my front. I can wash my rear, my front, my calves, my muscles, and everything. By old spice. The greatest smell in the NFL. How was that?
That was good.
It was good?
Yeah.
Cool. I'm gonna go eat some cool now.
Yeah, buddy. What the boys gonna do? And they get their shit together. They get it together. I told y'all, Bryce Young is media made. He's media made. Now, we got one game left. I guarantee Bryce can have a bad game. Trust me. Bryce Young can throw 4 interceptions or have 4 turnovers. However you want to go like he had before, he's still going to get a hall pass. I'm just being facts. He's going to get a hall pass. It's still going to say, get him more weapons. He wouldn't have these turnovers. I don't know what unless Bryce Young, his team, or David Tepper, they're gonna put money in the bank accounts of the media, surrounding local media. I don't know. You're not gonna get nothing bad. You're not gonna get we done with Bryce. We want Bryce out of here. It's not happening. It's not happening. The media would be more pissed off if Bryce Young is not the starter in 2025. Yep. I'm just being facts. I'm being straight up. Even if the Carolina Panthers draft a quarterback, they're going to be upset at that pick. They're gonna cut their eyes at it, turn their eyes. They're gonna say bad things about the pick because they like Bryce Young. It's the smile. It came from Alabama. That's all they're gonna say. That's all they know. The smile, and he came from Alabama because he really ain't did shit in the NFL. So they really can't glorify that. Bama Bryce. How you gonna let go Bama Bryce? I can't, you can't make this shit up, man. Guys, media made to the bone. To the his bone density, his skin. It's all media made. They made this guy. You know, sometimes media do that. There's certain guys that they just don't want to see fail. You know, they just, they want to exhaust all their resource before they say, well, guess he was a bust. And the whole time they were saving him. And then that's what media do. They'll save him. And then when it's time to get the word out and they tell the media, well, it's time to say he'll bust, let's cut him down. They're going to shred him into pieces. What the media always do. They're the biggest flip floppers. Trust me. Trust me. No quarterback other than Bryce Young. Put it like this. He's the only quarterback I know that's not worried about his job. Yep. He's the only quarterback I know with the worst quarterback numbers I done seen and still got his job going in next year. That's crazy. And it's only because he played at Alabama. There's no other way. Bryce Young would have played at fucking USC, fucking Albuquerque, goddamn Syracuse or some fucking where. Y'all be trying to run him up out of here. Y'all wouldn't give a fuck about him. But since it's Alabama, Bama Bryce, as y'all say, it's just a little different, ain't it? Yeah, it's a little different. Yeah, y'all don't like it. Y'all don't like it. Yeah. Tell you what, let him lose to Michael Penix. Let him lose. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. Shit is deep. Shit is deeper than rap. Gotta tell you. Yeah. Listen, him losing to a rookie is so much content I can run off that for the rest of the all season. But go ahead. Go ahead. I told y'all the Carolina Panthers was going down with a losing streak. Told y'all. It's the best thing for us. Trust me. Losing will only lighten the bad in your team. Trust me. When you lose so much and you see it, you gotta fix it. Yeah. Told you. Bryce the Cure Young. He doesn't have the antidote for this. Does not have the cure. Stop acting like Bryce the Cure Young has the cure to beat and fight this disease. He doesn't. We got to find a new cure. Could it be Shador? Could it be Cam? We ain't got long. We only got a couple months. Yeah, for sure. But I'll say again, yeah, tune in live. We'll be going live. Carolina Panthers versus Atlanta Falcons. And she got tapped in tomorrow. We'll be doing the picks and prediction. And as I said, last game of the football season is crazy. Yeah, this shit gone that fast. But hey, look at this. Football season never ends over here at S.L.R Media TV. So, we popping all year round. This is enough content for all Carolina Panther content creators to make the off season very interesting. So the NFL never stops. Quarterback Bryce Young is media made. Time to draft a quarterback. That's the process. Like, subscribe, share, comment to my YouTube channel. You know what to do. Hit the subscribe button. You go to my second YouTube channel, S.L.R Media TV and S.L.R Sports News TV. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, comment. Happy in now. Get it in when you fit in. Pop it. We on the run. We on the road to 4K. that like button, hit the subscribe button. Make sure you get to my channel. Watch some of that good content. Binge watch on it. Sure. Support the channel, support the movement. Make sure you tap that cash app. Get in there. All proceeds. You know what it do. Stay strictly to the channel for sure. Gonna get it in for sure. Picks and predictions coming tomorrow. You know we going live. Last game, season finale. We're going live. Do big shit on that one for sure. You know how it goes. And the Carolina Panthers spoiled the upset with Atlanta Falcons. Get into the playoffs. The boy Bryce Young right here. Let me tell you what he think about it.
Great power comes great responsibility. Great power comes great responsibility.
Hit the damn subscribe button. I'm out. See, I'm the one that run around here with the goddamn with the bright Spider-Man shit. See, I can't do what I do now. Just remember that. Yeah. New York Spider-Man. Your boy Bryce. Great power comes with great responsibilities.